Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now imagine this for a second. Two iPhones, both expensive, both fast, both labeled as the latest iPhone. But one of them is super thin, titanium built, and insanely minimal. The other one feels more pro, better heat control, a more complete camera setup, and supposedly more future-proof. Here's the problem though. That thin one actually feels way more comfortable in my hand. But on the other side, the Pro model is clearly the safer choice for power users. So the real question is, which one is actually more worth it for everyday use? The minimalist iPhone Air with a few compromises, or the iPhone 17 Pro that gives you more features but a different overall feel? In this video, I'm breaking everything down based on real-world usage, not just specs on paper. Let's jump straight into it, starting with design. Let's talk about the body design of both phones. Right away, the base materials are already different, and each one has its own pros and cons, at least in my opinion. I'll start with the iPhone Air. This phone uses a titanium body with an ultra-thin design. It feels solid, yet incredibly slim. And honestly, the in-hand feel is really comfortable. The mix of matte and glossy finishes on the back gives it a clean, elegant, and very minimalist look. Meanwhile, the iPhone 17 Pro uses an aluminum body, which actually helps a lot with heat dissipation. In terms of grip, it's still comfortable, and the phone is relatively lightweight. But ever since I started using the iPhone Air, I personally prefer how the Air feels in hand. So yeah, like always, every material choice comes with its own strengths and weaknesses. Now, speaking of weaknesses, the iPhone Air only has one rear camera and a mono speaker. From my experience when streaming, watching movies, or gaming, it feels a bit weird because the sound only comes from one side. Sure, you can get around it by using AirPods, but if you're not an AirPods person, this could be a deal breaker. Even with such a thin design, Apple still included the camera control feature. Honestly, I feel like this is one of those features people use a lot at first, then slowly forget about. Especially on a phone with just one camera, I don't think it's that necessary. I'd rather Apple replace it with stereo speakers or a bigger battery. But that's just my take. If you disagree, drop your thoughts in the comments. Next up, USB-C. The iPhone Air still uses USB-C 2.0, while the iPhone 17 Pro comes with USB-C 3.0 and supports charging speeds up to 40 watts. Apple upgraded the display across all iPhone lineups this year with Ceramic Shield 2, which they claim is up to 3 times more scratch-resistant than before. There's also an anti-reflective coating that's super helpful for outdoor use, especially under direct sunlight. When I'm watching movies or YouTube videos, the colors look great, and I don't get distracted by reflections from outside light. Overall, the viewing experience feels cleaner and more immersive. Now let's talk about the cameras. If you're someone who doesn't really care that much about cameras or doesn't rely on them heavily, the iPhone Air could be perfect for you. I can't say the camera is bad. It's actually pretty solid. For people who are fine with just one lens and don't need crazy zoom, this phone is more than enough. The quality is still at new iPhone level, with natural colors and good detail. Daylight shots look great, and even low-light performance is totally acceptable in my experience. But if you need long-range zoom and higher video FPS, the iPhone 17 Pro is the clear winner. The new telephoto lens with up to 8 times zoom looks sharp and detailed. Having this lens gives me way more flexibility when shooting photos or videos, especially if you are into concerts or events. This lens is more than enough. For the front camera, all iPhone models this year are the same. Center stage, 18 megapixels, and the same feature set. Center stage is honestly super helpful, especially during video calls or online meetings. I don't have to worry about framing my face. The camera just follows me automatically when I move left or right. In my opinion, center stage is one of Apple's standout features in 2025. From photos to videos, the results are solid and reliable. So again, if you're really into photography and videography, especially more pro use, I highly recommend the iPhone 17 Pro. But if you're getting the iPhone Air just for daily use, it's still a totally valid choice. For everyday performance, I honestly can't say there's a noticeable difference. Both phones feel equally fast. But when we talk about the chipset and battery, that's where differences start to show. Even though both use the A19 Pro chip, the iPhone Air has one less GPU core compared to the iPhone 17 Pro. I ran Geekbench tests, and while the iPhone Air scored slightly higher in single-core, the iPhone 17 Pro is way ahead in multi-core performance. That said, in real-world daily use, I don't really feel the difference. Apps open fast on both phones, and lag is rarely an issue. So if you ask me which one is faster, I honestly can't pick. They're both fast. However, if you're into heavy gaming, the iPhone 17 Pro definitely has the edge. It's backed by Apple's new vapor chamber cooling system, which helps the phone cool down much faster. About heat, I initially thought the thin body of the iPhone Air would make it heat up quickly. Turns out, that wasn't the case. After using it myself, I rarely felt excessive heat. I played games for almost an hour and tested the camera for photos and videos, and it only felt warm, no overheating. For battery life, the iPhone 17 Pro is more than enough for my daily usage. But with the iPhone Air, since I'm used to the Pro, I do feel that the battery capacity is a bit smaller, especially for high-intensity activities. Oh, and I found a pretty interesting hack from YouTube. If you turn off Apple Intelligence, your battery life actually improves compared to when it's enabled. I didn't believe it at first, but after testing it myself, it's legit. My iPhone 17 Pro's screen-on time usually sits around 6 to 7 hours, but after turning off Apple Intelligence, it jumped to around 8 to 9 hours. I haven't tested this on the iPhone Air yet, so maybe you can try it yourself and share your results in the comments. Honestly, this hack is pretty useful, especially since Apple Intelligence isn't that helpful yet. There are already more mature AI options like ChatGPT or Gemini. There's even a rumor that Apple might partner with Google to make Gemini the default AI on iPhones. So we'll just have to wait and see how Apple's AI evolves. So yeah, that's my experience and honest opinion after using and comparing the iPhone Air and the iPhone 17 Pro for daily use. At the end of the day, there's no such thing as the perfect iPhone. There's only the iPhone that fits your needs the best. If you care more about a thin design, comfortable grip, and simple daily use, the iPhone Air still makes sense. But if you're active in photography, video creation, heavy gaming, and want something more future-proof, the iPhone 17 Pro is definitely the safer choice. Now it's your turn. If you had to choose, are you Team iPhone Air or Team iPhone 17 Pro? And what feature matters most to you in an iPhone in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this video helped you out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me stay motivated to make honest, real-world tech content. I'll see you in the next video.